Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back. Another edition of the Blinkers On podcast. This is episode number 7. We've been out for a little bit. Price and I, took some time off, but we're back now. We're back better than ever. And we're really in the swing of Derby prep. So without further ado, let's get into it. Celebrating the sport of kings, Old Smoke Clothing, proud partner of Blinkers On podcast. T-shirts, hats, polos tailored to horse racing fans like you and me. Visit oldsmokeclothing.com. Enter BlinkersOn20 for 20% off your first purchase. I repeat, BlinkersOn20 at checkout at oldsmokeclothing.com for 20% off first purchase. So, a lot has happened since we last visited, and there's been a lot of Derby prep races. There's been some changes in the standings, but that's why you listen to the show. We bring all the facts, stats, everything you need right here to you guys. Since our last episode, Kentucky Derby race has really shifted, but there is one horse at the top, and that is Paladin. And he is Chad Brown's top Derby horse this year. Nearly Todd Pletcher's top 3 Derby horse won the Holy Bull, which has only produced one Kentucky Derby winner since 1991. Nearly did run a good race. He hasn't run since, but he did win that race well and really showed that he is a top contender for the Derby. Silent Tactic, Mark Casse trained, won the Southwest Stakes at Oaklawn Park, getting 20 Derby prep points. This race has produced 3 winners since 1991, Mystic Dan being a notable horse that has won there. Renegade, a Pletcher-trained, Rapoli-owned, won the Sam F. Davis Stakes at Tampa Bay Downs, but this race has never produced a Derby winner. Keep that stat in mind. Don't look for Renegade in the Derby when the Derby comes around. And then, of course, Paladin did win the Risen Star Stakes at Fairgrounds for Chad Brown, Tyler Gaffleone. He probably will be the Derby favorite. I know it's very far out, but Paladin has shown that he is the best 3-year-old right now, best 3-year-old colt out there. And this has only produced one Derby winner since 2002. So something to keep in mind there. Not very good stats in Paladin's corner, but he does have a shot. And then Commandment, Brad Cox trained, won the Fountain of Youth, getting 50 prep points. This is one of my favorite horses in the Cox barn. This horse showed that he can run in the big stage. He closed late and did win about, I believe it was 2.5 lengths. This race has produced 15 Derby winners, and 5 have won the Fountain of Youth and the Derby in the same year. Then we go to Class President. Todd Pletcher owned again. Going to be a common theme here. Another top horse. This horse ran a race that really shows that he can run from any distance. He can run short. He can run long. The horse went wire to wire, gate to wire, whatever you want to call it. This horse was on the lead, thought that he was fading a little bit, got passed up by a neck, and then fought back to win at 8-1. And he did win the Rebel Stakes. And the Rebel has produced 3 winners of this race have gone on to win the Kentucky Derby. Notable name, Triple Crown winner American Pharaoh in 2015 did win this race, won the Kentucky Derby, won the Preakness, won the Belmont. Look out for Class President. Not saying that he's as good as American Pharaoh, but anything can happen. The Puma won the Tampa Bay Derby, and Baffert's Patente won the San Felipe. This week is the Virginia Derby. Confessional ran 7th in the Sam F. Davis, but that race previous, he ran a 7 furlong at Gulfstream Park, losing to Nearly, that ended up winning that Derby prep earlier in February. My second choice is going to be Incredible, a Riley Mott horse, Christian Torres ridden. My friend works in that barn. He has told me that Incredible is improving very nicely and does have a shot this week at a long price. And then Grittiness, the Rapoli-owned, Pletcher-trained. That matchup is dangerous. Rapoli doesn't always produce the best horses, but I do think that this horse could run and possibly hit the board. But my top pick for the Virginia Derby is Confessional. Brad Cox trained. But without further ado, let's get Nicky Price back on the program. Nicky Price, are you with us? Nicky Price, can you hear me? Nicky Price,
What's up, guys?
how are you? Sit up a little bit, would you? Show your face. Come on. What's new, Price?
Nothing. We got in the background. We're good.
Yeah, you're at Starbucks. There's a little background noise there. I mean, not a good setting to do a podcast, but hey, I don't blame you. You took
Getting
time to get back on the
started.
show, and you're gonna give us a pick, right? You're gonna give us a nice price play for this weekend, huh?
Yeah, I thought there's proof. All right, I'll get to it now. Let me.
Nicky's price play brought to you by Mr. D's. Quality since 1976. Mr. D's produces the best hash browns in all of the United States. Go to your local grocery store, look in the freezer section, and pick up Mr. D's hash browns.
Who doesn't like potatoes?
That's right, Price. Nothing better. Um, Especially in Lenten season, Fridays, no meat. Why not have a little hash brown?
Those fries, they're good.
Yeah. All right, Price, get your price play, would you?
We're going to Gulfstream Race 10 on St. Patrick's Day, or at least St. Patrick's Day here in Chicago. It's a $25,000 claimer, a mile on the turf. Um, I was told I got some feedback saying that I have to go a little quicker here and stop rambling too much. That's what everybody's telling me. So I'm going to try to go a little quicker and just kind of focus on my three horses in the exacta. And I kind of just quickly tell you why I don't like these other horses. So the one, George Seno's barn's been really bad. Recently, he's usually a summer guy. Him, George Abreu, Fernando Abreu, all that. They're summer trainers, Saratoga, stuff like that. So the one I threw out. The two I thought was a bad favorite, questionable drop. Didn't understand the drop, so played against. Three I liked in the exact. I like the jockey change. Mark Cassie's barn's been on fire. You go from Sonny Leon to Dylan Davis. Thought that was a good jockey change. Stays at the level, second time at the level, right? It's an angle I've been playing recently. He does come from Tampa, but 2 starts ago he was at Gulfstream and the start before that as well. Second time in the class, good jockey change, hot barn. Um, Guy that always rides for Cassie, right? Dylan Davis, so should be all right there. This horse is usable. He's not going to be 8-1 though. He'll get bet down to 4, 3-1 with the way Cassie's barn's been running right now. That's why I don't like that horse on top. The four I thought was also usable. I did not include him in the exacta. It might be tough for him. But a thing I noticed in this race, a lot of these horses don't like to win. And so the thing that I look for in races like that is horses that are close, because usually horses that like that don't like to pass other horses. So if you're close, you're going to have a better chance, logically. I thought the four, Morelos to Miguel Vasquez, that is a small jockey change, but you can see my pick later on. Actually, Morelos goes to that horse. This horse did have a good bullet workout. He's usable. If I could use a fourth horse in the exacta, it would be this four. The five I thought was going to be too far back and going up in class. Didn't understand that. The six I think is going to be way too far back. No good. The seven, Nate the Great, Carlos David. He goes up in class. I don't like to play horses at that short of price. I go up in class. The eight was my pick. Morelos goes here. So he ran a good third at 35,000 last out, right? He had a good bullet on March 3rd, and he had also a bullet on January 31st. I would like to know what happened in between those workouts, why there was not another one. So it was kind of a shot in the dark here a little bit, but I'll explain more in a second. The 9 really has a reason why I like this 8. So the 9 is a third horse I'm using the exact. I think this horse is playable, but the only reason I don't pick this horse on top is because I think he might be 3-1, 2-1. This horse, I think he's gonna get bet a lot, and obviously this is a price play, and I think the 8 could beat him. I do, but logically this 9 makes a lot of sense. Second time at the level, Javier Castellano, Pietro Moran. You might think to yourself that's not a jockey change, but it really is, because this horse likes to be forward. You could see that October 25th at Woodbine, he was forward and he was on the lead, right? And he ran second. The race before that, he was close to the lead and he ran second. This Pietro Moran is very aggressive. He rides for Kevin Attard in Canada. This is Kevin Attard's brother, Tino. And he also had a workout on March 7th, 48, 25 to 78, right? I think this horse is going to be on the lead or sitting second. I think the 8 will be behind him. But the 9 will not be 6 to 1. That morning line is off. I'll tell you that right now. So the exacta and the 10 in this race, I thought had no chance. The exacta is 893 is what I came up with. And if the 9 stays 6 to 1 or goes 5 to 1, or maybe even if he somehow goes higher than 6 to 1, I would bet the 9 because I think this 9 has a good chance. But I think the 8 could beat the 9. I think it really is 8-9, and I think the 3 could get a piece. I really think I have to try down in this race because I don't like the 2 chalks whatsoever. But that's just my opinion. And as I was looking through this card, I came across a horse that I bet last time out. I couldn't pick him in this because the race is just too cheap, and you don't really know what horses you'll get. You don't know what type of horse you'll get on certain days in $8,000 claimer. But I'm not going to explain the whole race, but I bet this G Speedy last time, and I really like this jockey change. Second time at the level, he goes. He ran 8,000 last time with Horacio Carmaros, and he gets Miguel Vasquez. I think that's a really good jockey change, and I think this horse is going to be forward this start. I think he's going to be forward. And I forgot to mention, sorry, I just thought about it now. I was going a little quick, maybe a little too quick. The 9, a reason that I think the 8 could beat him is because you could see here in this January 18th race, he ran 7th, right, with Castellano. But who beat him right here? Amnesthetic. Amnesthetic beat him, and you look who's amnesthetic right here, the 8. So the 8 already proved that he could beat the 9. And that's a reason that I like the 8. And then Morelos got off the 4, went to the 8. There's a lot of stuff going for this 8. This 8, and I don't think he's going to take a lot of money. I think he'll sit right around 10, 11, 12 to 1. I think that's pretty accurate. Because I think the 9's going to take money. I think the 7's going to take money. I think the 3's going to take money. And I think the 2's going to take money. I think the 6 will float up. But this 8 will stay right around there, and I think that's a really good price for this type of horse. So 8, 9, 3, Exacta Box race 10, St. Patrick or Saturday, Gulfstream, and then the 4th race, number 5, G Speedy, cheap claimer, definitely could win that race with the jockey change improvement. He'll be forward.
All right, Price. I don't mind it. 839 exacta box in the 10th at Gulfstream on Saturday. Yeah,
And
I
the
don't.
5 in that earlier race.
Yeah, and then the five in that fourth race there, right? Yeah, no, I like it. I really like that 9 horse. Is that Tino Attard related to Kevin Attard by chance?
He might be. They're both from Woodbine.
Both from Woodbine, both last name. Got to be similar, right? Got to be related. All right. Hey, Price, it's March Madness time. You got any thoughts about March Madness?
Yeah, I like the Big East. I always like the Big East. I like the UConn stuff.
UConn's
But
tough.
my sleeper pick is a lot of people are writing them off this year. I feel like this is the first year that people are like, no way, they have no chance. But they still got their guards back. Purdue. I like Purdue.
I like Purdue too. They do look good. Sneaky pick for me. They did look good. Late end of the season. I mean, it's really not sneaky to be honest. They look really good. Florida's gonna win it all. It's not a sneaky pick. They're the 5th team in the nation, but they're gonna win it all.
If you pick Florida or Duke, it's dumb. Because you're picking the favorite and you're going up against 8 million others.
Yeah. But I'm not gonna bet neither of them to win. I'm gonna take them in my bracket, that's for sure. But they're tough. Duke's really good. Duke's really, really good. All right, Price. You want to get into who's got who?
Yep.
Who's got who this week is going to be top 3 Derby horses as of right now. Our top 3. It's not going to be a draft style. We could have same horses on our list, but it's going to be top 3 Derby horses. Price, you want to take it away?
Yeah, so the first one that I was looking at was the Cherie DeVoe horse. She has yet to have a Derby runner, the other one winner. The Golden Tempo with Jose Ortiz. I believe that horse won a big race at Fairgrounds. I thought that horse was pretty good. That would be my first pick. He's got 35 Derby. Okay. Second horse I had was Litmus Test. That's the Baffert horse. I was following that horse a little bit. I don't really like to pick Baffert because he cheats, but he's good with Bobby and Pratt. This horse is just solid, but I hope Baffert doesn't win. And then the final one was, just because I like the trainer, was Guasto Delgado, the horse that won the Tampa Derby, the Puma. I don't know if this horse is good enough to win the Derby, to be honest with you, but the trainer's pretty good, and I follow him at Tampa down. So, and I like Tampa, so one of my favorite trainers. So I'll be rooting for him as well.
I like it, Price. I don't have actually any of those horses in my list, so I'm glad we went that way. Yeah, that Puma, he showed a really good race last time out. Ended up winning at like 8-1. He finished third in what was that other Tampa Bay Downs race that I forget. He did finish third at
I
another
think you
Tampa.
said I gave that horse out on the podcast.
I believe you
I
did.
don't remember. I don't remember names, but maybe
I don't know if you gave it out as a winner. I think you gave it out in an exacta for sure though. All right. My third horse, I'm gonna go 3-1. My third horse is gonna be Balboa. Balboa is a Brittany T. Russell trained Sheldon Russell jockey. Balboa has not run very well all year, but he comes out of the sire not this time. Damn Tap of War has earned 144,000 this year. Last race out in the Gotham, grade 3, ended up coming 5th. Ran an okay race, but also raced in the Jerome at Aqueduct earlier in January and came second by not a lot. And then also raced in the Remsen and came third to Renegade and Paladin. I think Balboa does have a shot this year. And I mean, I don't know if he's even going to get in, but I think this horse can definitely improve still. Horse has a lot of improving to do. But hot take, I do like Balboa. He was a good horse to watch out early, and now I do think he's got a chance. My second horse, I'm gonna go to Further or Do. Further Ado is trained by Brad Cox, jockey Irad Ortiz. Further
can't
Ado,
win derbies.
what's that?
Can't win derbies.
Yeah. Well, who cares?
He's never
Best
won a
jockey
derby.
trainer.
I ran.
Yeah,
Brad
well,
has
that's
won a
okay.
derby.
Comes out of Sky Dreamer. Gunrunner is the father. The owner, Spendthrift Farms. Can't get much better than that. Ran in the Tampa Bay Derby, lost to the Puma. Further Ado was the favorite that race, ran a good race, and came second, not by much. Also ran earlier at Churchill Downs in November in the Jockey Club, ended up winning that race as the favorite. This horse has a lot going for him. He is only 9th in the points, I believe. And he's got 35. This horse does look like he's an auto in. Might run one more race in the near future. That race looks like it's going to be the Bluegrass in Lexington in April, and then going to be the Kentucky Derby. So I think Further Ado has a lot going for him, lot trending in the right direction. And to be honest, I would bet this horse as a future when the futures come out for the Derby next. I believe they come out in 2 weeks. So look out for Further Ado to bet in the futures. And then, of course, my number one's going to be Paladin. Chad Brown trained. This horse is just no doubt the best 3-year-old. He was the best 3-year-old behind Ted Noffey, and Ted Noffey obviously got hurt, so he's going to go to the Breeders' Cup. But maybe he might go to the Preakness, might go to the Belmont. I think Pletcher said that he's for sure out of the Derby. They're pointing late summer for his return, but Paladin is the best 3-year-old out there. No doubt. He's an auto in, going to be the Derby favorite is my guess. I know there's a lot of time still for the Derby and a lot more preps to come. but I really think Paladin is the top 3-year-old and no doubt a number one chosen for the Derby. But that's our top 3. I have Paladin 1, Further Ado in second, and then I have Balboa as my third. Real long shot. Price, read yours again.
The Cherie DeVoe horse, Golden Temple, the Puma, and the other one was
It was a Baffert litmus test.
Litmus Test. Yeah, so my top 3 is Golden Temple, Cherie DeVoe horse, Litmus Test, the Baffert horse, and then the horse that won the Tampa Bay Derby with Guavsto, the Puma.
Nice. I like it. That's all she wrote, folks. Thanks for joining episode number 7 of the Blinkers On podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, comment, do whatever you got to do to boost the program. That's all. Thank you.